Hi, welcome on to ArsenalFanTV. Time to preview the game, Middlesbrough versus Arsenal. First of all, I've got to say, a bank holiday Monday. Thanks, Premier League. You know, weekend, you want to spend it with your family and that. Got to travel all the way up to Middlesbrough on a Monday. And that's the second week in a row that we've been on a Monday night as well. Have to wait and see what everybody else has done over the weekend, then play, and then it's a lot of pressure on the team. And we know what's been going on recently. We can't handle pressure. And I look at this game tomorrow, Middlesbrough, second from bottom, fighting for their lives. Basically, if they lose this game, they could be down. You know, not mathematically yet, but more or less down because they'll be so far off the fourth place team at the bottom of the table. And us, if we don't win the game, kiss the top four goodbye. Simple as that. Kiss it goodbye. And Arsene Wenger, if he loses this game, surely he can't sign a new contract. He'd have to walk. Surely. I mean, I know I've said that before. I've said that about 3 times this season. But surely he'd have to walk after this game. I mean, Arsenal at the moment, if you look at our record, it's absolutely terrible. We've lost our last 4 away games, 4 in a row. We haven't lost 5 away games in a row since 1985. How could you possibly sign a new contract with a stat like that? I mean, you get a new contract when you're doing well. So somebody says, oh, you know what, you're doing well, sign here, you know. Or if you're not doing that great, but the person can look into the future and say, well, I can see that potentially things can improve in the future. I see shoots of progress. There's none of that at the moment with Arsenal. Absolutely nothing. So Arsene Wenger, for me, he has to win this game. A draw's not good enough. And we know that Middlesbrough, you know, they've drawn a lot of games. They drew with us the last time we played. It was 0-0. And at that time, we was coming off of 7 wins on the bounce. But for me, it has to be a win for Arsene Wenger. Or for me, I can't see how he can stay on. I mean, I'm not saying he'd go immediately. We've got the FA Cup semi-final next weekend. But surely that will be the end of Arsene Wenger if he doesn't get it. Because that will be the end of any hope of getting into the top 4. Now, some better news for Arsene Wenger. Petr Cech hopefully should be back for the game. And also Laurent Koscielny. It's very important to get him back. It looks like he may be fit for the game. So that's very, very good news. And also the other good news is that we're playing Middlesbrough, a team that are right down the bottom, second from bottom. They've been falling like a stone, just like Arsenal have been. They haven't won a game in the Premier League since mid-December. So you couldn't hope really to face a better team away from home to get your away form back on track. But it's Arsenal. It's Arsenal. And Middlesbrough are not really a team that score a lot of goals either. They've only scored 22 goals all season, which is, you know, a really, really poor record. We score goals, but our defence, as everybody knows, has been absolutely appalling. And listen, Middlesbrough, they'll go for it. Got nothing to lose. You know, if they don't go for it, they're going to end up going down. And they would have seen what Crystal Palace done, and you know that they're going to come out fighting from the first minute. Now, for me, something that I heard Theo Walcott say last week after the game, that Crystal Palace wanted it more than Arsenal. Wanted it more. And Palace, of course, was a team fighting against relegation, just like Middlesbrough are. And Arsenal, how could they have wanted it more? What about the pride of the team? What about the prize of trying to get into that top 4 in Champions League football next season? It really makes you think, are these players playing for the manager, Arsene Wenger? When I heard that comment, for me, it was so damning. And at the moment, another thing that's really damning, and I'm sorry to be just dooming and glooming here right throughout this video, but Arsenal at the moment are 14 points behind Spurs. 14 points. This is the first time there's been such a big margin between us and Spurs, with Spurs being above us, since 1961. The stats are stacking up against Arsene Wenger. If he loses this game, for me, he cannot possibly sign a new deal. I don't know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments to let me know, but I just can't see how he can. It will put him under immense pressure. This is a huge... You know, look at the fixture. It doesn't seem like one of the biggest games of the season, but in the context of things, for Arsene Wenger personally, I think this could be the biggest game of the season for him, because if he loses, where does he turn to? Now, team-wise, I'd go with the same team that we had out against, you know, against Crystal Palace. Apart from, of course, Gabriel I'd take out and put in Lauren Koscielny if he's fit, and also Petr Cech would come in for Martinez. But basically the same team. As I said before that Palace game, the only thing I would change is up top, I would replace the positions of Welbeck and Sanchez. Sanchez was scoring so many goals this season down the middle. We've moved him out to the left. Why? Welbeck hasn't scored now, I'm thinking about nearly 10 games. Put Alexis down the middle, put Welbeck on the left-hand side. He works really hard up and down. And let's go out there and get a win. We've got tough games coming up after this. We need a win to get the confidence back. We've got Man City, you know, next week at Wembley in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. We need to go there with a bit of confidence. Followed up the week after that by a game that I'm going to be admitting to you right now, I'm not looking forward to it at all. And normally it's one of the highlights of my season, is Tottenham away. And the way I see Tottenham turning over teams at the moment, and the way I see us playing, I don't even want to think about that game. It could be a nightmare. So we need to get a win to get some form going into some of these really big games. After that game, Man United at home as well. We got to get some form going. So what do you guys think? Do you think we can get a win in the game? I don't even want to give a prediction, man. It's just, how do you do predictions at the moment with Arsenal away from home? I'm going to go for us winning, because surely we can't go 5 in a row. As I said, we'd be our worst run since 1985. But you guys, leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that team is the team we should go with, or do you think we should make more changes within the team? There's been suggestions from some people we should bring Holding in, or we should bring in even Mertesacker. You know, change that defence up, because it's just been so unorganised. Should Coquelin come back in instead of, say, Xhaka? I don't know. Let me know and leave it in the comments below.